The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. I'm Andy Walker and I'm here with my son Scott. As always, hello Scott.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes. Yeah, I'm okay. It's a bit hot at the moment, at this precise moment in
It has been
England.
very hot today. It's cooled down a bit now.
Yeah,
Not,
and
but a bit.
as a larger individual, I don't do well with the heat, and it's drained me the last couple of days, and
I agree. It's been a bit draining to say the least.
it's been a bit hot and sweaty. But other than that, everything is all gravy.
Good.
How are you? How's
Yeah, not bad. I managed to survive the fate worse than death at work. Our summer fate worse than death. But yeah, no, I did singing there. I don't know why I bothered, to be honest, because nobody was bloody listening to me. I stand there and I sing, and nobody pays a blind bit of attention to it. And then afterwards, I get about 3 people saying, "Your singing was very good." Thank you.
You know, the next time it happens, and you don't sing, everyone will be like, "You're not singing this shit."
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's just one of them things. It's weird. There's a lot of strange things. It's like I was just saying to you, for some reason I don't quite understand our last episode, which we reviewed the Electric State, seems to have had almost no views at the moment.
Yes, I know it's bizarre. Like we've had quite a good run with the last of them, but
Yeah, it's
I don't know. Maybe
not a
it's
lot of love for the science fiction from the science fiction community for the Electric State. One feels. I don't know why.
I don't know.
No. So anyway, this week we were going to be reviewing a new film, which is actually not coming out until August, so we won't be doing
Yes,
the review until then.
yeah. We got mixed up on the dates of what was going on.
Yes. So we won't be doing that until towards the end of August, but that's something to look forward to. Um, and so this week we have 2 short films, horror films, and we are reviewing a horror feature film, which I understand was suggested for us to do.
Yes, it was a friend of mine. I don't know whether or not they were serious or not, but messaged me and went, "I found a film for you to review." And I went, "Okay, send it to me." And they sent me a brief description, and I was like, "Okay, send me the link." And they sent me the link, and yeah, I then told you about it. And funnily enough, I haven't heard from my friend lately,
Oh, okay.
but whether or not he's going to be listening to this to find out what we thought of the film.
Well, it'd be
But it
thinking,
was, it was, it was not as what we're asking for is people just bit friends, family, people that whatever. If you found a film and you go, we want to see what they think, just let us know.
absolutely. Yeah, if there are any films out there, old or new, that you think we should have a go at reviewing, or that you think you'd like to hear what we think of them, then
Yeah, it's
perhaps let us know. You can leave a comment on this, or you can contact either one of us on Facebook, or we have the Sci-Fi Film Network page on Facebook that anyone can log on to and go and have a look at.
or you
Uh,
can find us individually on different platforms, social medias. I'm sure
yes,
ways
absolutely.
of getting in touch with us.
Yes. Okay. Can we do this?
Yeah,
Okay, the first of our two short films this week is from 2024 and it is a thing called Feet.
Finger called feet.
It's yeah, it's on ACM channel thing and that the writer, director, DP and editor for this is Alex Magana. The cast is Holly Johnson, not the Holly Johnson from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, hasten to add, Patrick Stephen, and the voice of Jacob Coldfarb. Yeah. Anyway, it isn't a synopsis for this film, so and it is quite short and like that. What do you think?
Yeah. Um,
Very good.
it's very no wrong. The cinematography to it I thought was very well done, and I like the fact that when they were talking via the messenger or phone messages, you could see it popping up. So you're not having to have it read out or anything like that. You're not having to focus on the screen.
Yeah,
Was a little bit confused in the end whether or not it was a dream or if she woke up and there was what was going on there. But I do like the fact that I don't know whether that's mentioned, but it just the sort of thing that he was showing the fact that an innocent photo could turn worse, it could turn creepy.
yeah.
But it's an odd film.
It is an odd film. I think it's quite good. It's very short and it is odd, but I thought it was very good. I think it's got some really good effects in it.
Yes.
And, the effects were really well done.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know what you mean. I wasn't sure about whether the first part of it had been a dream and then she woke up and then there was stuff going on, or whether it was all
Yeah, if it was like continuing on
real.
or what. But yeah, it was a very it sort of jumped suddenly and
Yeah,
it was a bit confusing. But yeah, it was other than that I thought it was a good film.
I did too. Okay, so not a lot more you can say about it, really.
No. I don't know. It goes to show as well the fact of what we said before is that the films don't have to be hours long or like whatever long to be good films. They
No,
can
it's
make
true.
a point
Yeah,
within a couple of minutes, and I think this film does.
absolutely. Right. I'll just point out this was one of my birthday presents this year. It's a drinking vessel made in the shape of a camera lens.
Yes, I was wondering for a minute.
He's quite weird, but I quite like that. Um, anyway, there you go. Right. So the second film is from 2025, and it is a film called Smile.
Yes,
I will get to things in a minute. Writer, director, cinematographer, music and sound by L.A. Serrano, and it's on LAS Films. Um, the synopsis for this says a young teen encounters a mysterious, creepy looking doll unexpectedly, which unleashes something sinister. There is a note also from the filmmaker which says, I conceived this idea approximately 7 years ago. Although a film titled Smile exists, it bears no relation to my concept. However, it does draw some inspiration from the movie. I was a bit confused by that. Is he saying that the film Smile drew some inspiration from his movie? Because if he had this idea 7 years ago, that predates the film Smile.
yeah.
So I don't see how, unless he then
Unless some of the ideas
he drew
he put in
inspiration from the film
afterwards
art
were
that
from the
he was
film. Yeah, it is.
making.
For a footnote, it's a bit of a confusing one.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, I mean it is a very creepy looking little doll in this. The only
Yes,
thing I would say is it reminds me of Robbie Williams. If you
singer. Yes,
you look at the head and look at the face, it reminds me of Robbie Williams,
yes, I can see it. I can see what you're saying.
which it makes the whole thing a little bit less scary somehow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But it's a decent little film with some, not bad effects. It doesn't.
No, it's got some reasonably good effect in it. I will say it's a very odd film because we've watched a lot of films where kids have been involved before and
Yeah,
they they've been involved in one way or another. But to have the whole film about the two kids,
yeah, no, yeah,
oh, I say kids, they're teenagers, yeah, but for them to do the roles that they did, yeah, it must have taken a bit, but they done it very well, I think.
yeah. I mean, it is. I thought it was quite a good film. It was well made and all that kind of thing. It doesn't go anywhere very much, though. It's kind of like
I think,
it's more like a kind of set up and scene rather than a film in its entirety.
yeah, I'd say this is again fits into the category that we've sort of put a few others into of the whole. It would be like it would be great as that's how it starts. Then you get the title come up and then it carries on.
Yeah, yeah,
But or it's sort of that's I don't know a footnote of that's what the end of a film to say it's carrying on or something. But I think yeah, it's definitely I think something that could be expanded.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it would be good if it could be expanded on. Maybe change the title of the expanded
Yeah,
Hot Smile so that people don't get confused by it. But yeah, I think it would be good to do something else, do something more with it.
yeah. But I would say other than that, the cinematography itself, the angles they had, so you could the angles and the body positioning and the sort of the shots they had were done in such a way that obviously you can't see what was happening and sort of not knowing what's going on, but he left it to the imagination. You could sort of tell what they were trying to show, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's very well done.
it was very, very well made. Okay, so on to our feature film, which is from, it confused me. Some places it says 2018, some places 2019, so somewhere around there, around that sort of time.
Yeah,
Um, so this is a film from Signature Entertainment, and it is a film called Office Uprising. This is a horror comedy. The writers are Ian Shaw and Peter Gamble. The director is Lynn Oeding. And the cast, we have Brendan Thwaites, Jane Levy, Karen Sony, Zachary Levy, no relation, Greg Henry, Kurt Fuller, Ian Harding, Alan Richardson, Barry Shaka, Shabaka Henry, and Sam Daly, and Kenneth Choi. And the synopsis says an employee at a weapons factory discovers that an energy drink turns his co workers into zombies. They're not really zombies, but
no,
yeah.
but yeah,
I wasn't sure about this film.
okay,
Well, no, it's because I've said it before, over the years, I have found that there's a lot of American comedy films that I just don't find funny.
yes,
Um, but I've got to say, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. I thought the humour was good and it was funny.
yeah. I don't know. I was more shocked when I found out about this film that I started watching it, sort of going through, and I was like, and it's only when I sort of see like Zachary Levi's face and Alan Richardson, a few others, and I was like, this is actually quite a sort of named cast. There are quite a lot of people in this whole film that are
But
big actors.
there are people in it who are kind of like they're sort of second level
Yeah,
thing. actors in films and TV, and they're not necessarily stars, but they've kind
No, they're not. I wouldn't say okay. Yeah, they're not like A-list celebrities. They're not ones that like when you first go celebrity. These people are first at the bottom right, but they are ones that if you saw their face, you would know who they were.
yeah,
And
yeah, definitely,
it's as I say when I'm going through this, and I was like, this is quite a bizarre film for certain, especially for like Alan Richardson and Zachary Levi to be involved in.
yeah,
They've been involved in quite a lot of serious things.
yeah,
And like I say, Alan Richardson's known for being like Reacher, and he's been doing a lot of other things like the Jason Bourne film and stuff like that. He's known for being quite a serious actor,
yeah,
and to do something like this, which is not a very take serious film,
yes.
it was a bit surprising to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I mean, as far as the film goes, I mean, the idea I thought was really good, and the story was really well written, very well put together. There's some excellent effects in it, and some really good stunt work in it.
Yes,
Um, but there were some elements of it that reminded me of the Belko experiment.
yeah,
And there are also things in it that kind of reminded me of just about every zombie movie I've ever seen.
yeah. It was weird because I was a bit dubious as well when they said like, oh, any drink turns into. I was like, oh, okay, another one. But then when I watched it, I was like, they're not really zombies, I suppose, but
Um,
you can see where that
I mean,
premise is coming from.
it's
It
more
is,
like a sort of super soldier serum gone wrong.
yeah, because they sort of say that they do say they meant for the military to make them stronger, make them more like efficient. But that is such a bizarre film. It's sort of it's one of them acts like sort of it got into it very quickly, which
Yeah,
I know for a lot of American like sort of American modern day films they do that quite a lot. They sort of first couple of minutes is explain it, and then the rest of it is what's going on. But I thought the sort of there wasn't any sort of build up to a whole. I don't know to sort of explain. Oh, this is definitely going to be how it is at the end. This is going to be the explanation to what's gone on. I thought it was going to be like mixed up in the batch or something like that. Not the fact that it ended up being pretty much sabotage.
yeah.
And
I,
it's such a. I think it's the sad. I agree with you. The effects, the makeup effects, the special effects, like the visual effects, and the stunt, like the physical effects, I think were some of the best I've seen.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I'll tell you, I mean, as far as the acting goes, I think the Jane Levi, whatever you want to pronounce it, I think she was fantastic because of the fact that she was kind of affected by the energy drink, but not as much as everybody else because she hadn't drunk as much. But she kept cutting between being sort of
Yes,
like raging mad to being all the way she was before, which was quite sort of quiet and
yeah.
you know, and cutting between those two things from one it was really
It's not
quite
like there
fun.
was a sort of I don't know a build up to it. It was like straight away going from being very timid to she was going to rip his head off,
Yeah, yeah.
and there was no sort of like 5 minute build up or anything.
And the fact that for about a quarter of the film, she's she's gaffer taped to a sort of
Like a trolley, one of yeah, to like a
back
delivery
barrel.
trolley, yeah,
It's like,
like sort of trolley loader, and it's just like, and to do, let's say, to do a feel like, especially to do like the physical stunt bits they did, and with pushing her or pulling her around in the stunt, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
bits they were doing, I thought were very like it was very unique. I've not seen it in any film,
No, it was very
and
well done. It's very good. And I did find it quite funny when he goes back home to to his flat and him and his mates playing Mario Kart in shopping trolleys out in the
yeah,
alleyway. I thought that was quite good. The weird thing with that is that the guy who's his like flatmate was Kenneth Choi, and he plays a medic in 911.
yeah,
It's kind of like oh,
it's so sad. There's certain people in this that whether it be like the big roles in it or little sort of side roles, have all played quite serious roles, and
yeah,
it's sort of into sort of this film, and it's like this isn't anywhere near a film that's taking itself seriously,
no.
and
But
it's.
uh, as I say, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by it, how funny it was and how funny I found it. Because as I say, American humour leaves me cold sometimes and that sort of thing. But and the other thing is, as was, I mean, I said, there's bits in it that you've seen in dozens of other zombie movies,
Yeah,
that sort of thing, which is true. But this film is very much its own thing.
there were bits that I thought of. I knew that they were going to be involved later on, like the bit when they're first doing they're showing sort of some of the bits that they do. They talk about this exoskeleton that's
Yeah,
used bio. They use bio.
zombies are going to come back in at
Yeah,
some
instead of
point.
use like sort of organic matter, and then when you see him using it, I'm like, oh, I know what's going to go on. Someone's going to be putting it,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's sort of. But again, it's the way it was done, and I think it was such a. So it's still a shock bit, but still quite funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, there was some really funny bits in this, and but there, again, as I say, some of the effects and that sort of thing. There was some good or slashery gore sort of stuff
What
going.
I, what I did like about it is the fact that obviously I've worked a little bit in an office. I know you have. I know quite a few people probably watching this have, but it's the fact that no matter what you're doing, what the where you work, there is still that sort of hierarchy
Yeah,
in it. So you'd be like the bottom of the bottom where he was, and then like right at the top was like the boss, the big boss, and it's just sort of the way it was all leveled out. And I think that sort of is almost sort of worldwide accepted. It's not just an American thing or a
yeah.
British thing. It's everyone sort of understands that when you're on that floor, you're sort of you're labelled that floor.
But that was one of the things that kind of like reminded me a bit when he was going through the rules of a day, how to survive a day working in the office. Reminded me a little bit of Zombieland.
Yeah, I did.
When he's going through the rules of how to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I
But,
did sort of feel that, but again, I
it
think
was good though.
it's still a good film. I think it was funny in the right amount of way. It sort of
Yeah,
had that balance very well.
definitely, definitely. I thought it was really funny and really good, and I enjoyed watching it. It was a good, fun film to watch.
Yeah,
Okay, so there you go. We got Feet, which was odd, short, but good. Smile, which was a bit odd with the creepy looking doll that looked like Robbie Williams. If anybody doesn't believe me, watch it and tell me
I'm
whether
not going to be able to see it.
not.
I was going to go back and watch it. I'm not going to be able to watch it.
No, go and watch it and check it out. And then Office Uprising, which was a really good American horror comedy,
Yes,
definitely worth a watch, and is available at the moment on
right.
Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime. Uh, so
Whether or not it'll be on there for how much longer, because they do have this moment of changing all over the place.
they
But
do
for
this
this,
weird thing on Amazon Prime, which really annoys me, which is they have a film which you can watch for free, and then all of a sudden you go on there and you've got to pay for it.
yeah,
And then about 6 months down the line, it suddenly becomes free again.
it annoys me when they
Mm.
do it with TV series as well, which is what they've done at the moment in this month. Right to the end of the TV series, and they've gone, oh, for the next two seasons,
Yeah,
you've got to pay for, but the season after that, you have. And it's just like,
it's
ugh.
annoying the way they
Yes,
do
no,
it.
for the moment, it's on Amazon Prime.
Yes, yes. So there you go. Okay. Well, thank you, Scott, for
It's
first
okay.
for bringing that film to my attention,
Yes.
and thank you to Scott's friend for suggesting it. And as we say, if you do have any suggestions for films you think we should review, old or new, tell us what they are, and we'll try our best to get them done.
Yeah.
And like that. So yes, thank you, Scott, for your
Okay. Glad I
time
could
and
be part of
everything.
it and help and do things.
Thank you to the few people that watched our last episode, and hopefully a few more people will watch this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Um, There's no rhyme or reason to it. I think it might be something to do with the YouTube algorithm theory, not sprinkling it with
Ridiculous, but yeah.
Amazon fairy dust or something. Anyway, um, so here we are. Next week will be more science fiction again. And like that. Take it easy, everybody out there. And there. All right then. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.